You may not realize it, but your sexual energy holds an untapped power, one that influences far more than just your personal relationships. It impacts your creativity, your drive, and yes, your financial success. Most people separate their sexual energy from their financial lives, but the truth is, these energies are deeply interconnected. The desire to create wealth, to generate value, or to take action often starts as a creative impulse, and that impulse is rooted in sexual energy. Yet most of us have never been taught how to harness this force for productive growth. Instead, we let it dissipate or be misdirected into fleeting pleasures or distractions. By redirecting this energy, we can unlock a potential that aligns our financial decisions with our deeper desires, allowing us to tap into the true power that drives wealth. It seems strange at first. How could something as personal as desire have anything to do with financial success? Yet, if you examine your financial decisions, you'll begin to notice a pattern. Desire is at the core of everything we pursue, but often we allow it to be misdirected. The desire for wealth, security, and success is one of the strongest motivators, yet it can remain hidden beneath layers of self-doubt, fear, or repression. Many people unknowingly suppress their desires, believing they should only pursue financial goals if they deserve it, or if they can control every aspect of the process. But in doing so, they create an internal conflict. Their desire remains buried, unable to fuel the bold actions needed to achieve financial freedom. The real question is, what would happen if you allowed your desires to flow freely, without restriction, guiding you towards wealth and success in alignment with your true potential? When we think of sexual energy, we often think of it in narrow terms, related only to attraction or intimacy. However, this energy is a creative force that can fuel more than just physical expression. It is the driving energy behind innovation, inspiration, and, most importantly, financial growth. If channeled properly, sexual energy has the potential to ignite creative ideas, entrepreneurial ventures, and dynamic decision-making. Yet, most people mismanage this energy, directing it toward short-term satisfaction instead of long-term financial strategy. This misdirection leads to a drain in potential and leaves many feeling unfulfilled in both their personal and financial lives. The key to unlocking financial success lies not in suppressing desire, but in understanding how to use it as a tool for strategic action, redirecting that energy toward building wealth and creating lasting opportunities. The fear of success is often more insidious than we realize. It doesn't always look like outright avoidance. It manifests as hesitation, procrastination, or even self-sabotage. When desire is repressed, it transforms into an unconscious fear. Fear of what success will demand, fear of change, or fear of the responsibility that comes with wealth. It's a psychological paradox. You crave financial growth, but simultaneously fear what that growth will bring. This internal conflict keeps many people stuck, paralyzed by the fear of succeeding. Every opportunity that could lead to wealth is seen through the lens of fear of the unknown, making it easier to retreat into the familiar, even if it means staying in a state of financial struggle. Understanding this fear and confronting it head-on allows you to transform repressed desire into fuel for progress, rather than letting it control your choices and block your financial success. Sexual energy is often misunderstood as simply a physical or intimate force, but it is, at its core, a powerful creative resource. When you learn to channel this energy into productive outlets, like career development, entrepreneurship, or investing, you unlock an entirely new level of financial creativity and motivation. This energy, when directed toward your goals, acts as an unstoppable force, propelling you toward success. Yet, most people allow their sexual energy to dissipate through distractions or quick gratification, never recognizing its true potential. Channeling sexual energy into focused action results in bold decisions and the ability to take risks with clarity and purpose. By understanding how to direct this energy, you create a flow of productivity and creativity that builds wealth, not just in the moment, but over time. Unchecked desire can be a silent force that drives impulsive decisions and short-term thinking. When we don't consciously direct our desires, they can quickly spiral into impulsive behaviors, like overspending, taking uncalculated risks, or ignoring long-term goals for temporary pleasure. These behaviors often stem from an internal need for immediate satisfaction, which may feel rewarding in the moment, but undermines financial security in the long run. Desire, when left unchecked, can cloud judgment, making us act on emotional impulses rather than strategic plans. The more we allow these unchecked desires to drive our financial decisions, the more we fall into patterns that hinder growth. Understanding the link between unchecked desire and poor financial outcomes is the first step toward mastering this energy, allowing it to fuel calculated risks and long-term success instead of short-lived gratification. Many of us don't just fear failure, we fear success. Success comes with visibility, expectation, and responsibility, things that can trigger discomfort, even guilt. The paradox here is profound. The very thing you desire most, financial success, can be the source of your deepest fears. This fear isn't about laziness or a lack of ambition. It's about the internal conflict between wanting more and fearing the consequences that come with it. When success seems too big or intimidating, the unconscious mind resorts to self-sabotage to avoid the perceived dangers of achieving more. Procrastination, missed opportunities, and avoidance behaviors all serve as mechanisms to keep us stuck in a comfort zone. The key to breaking this cycle is to recognize that success does not change who you are, but rather amplifies the person you are meant to become. Confronting this fear allows you to embrace success and let go of the internal blocks preventing you from fully realizing your potential. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking instant rewards, especially when the brain craves immediate satisfaction. Yet, true financial success rarely comes from quick wins. The ability to delay gratification, to resist the temptation of short-term pleasures in favor of long-term goals, is one of the most powerful indicators of financial mastery. But this requires more than just willpower. It requires the ability to understand the deep-seated psychology of desire and how it operates in our decision-making. The tension between immediate rewards and long-term growth is ever present, and the failure to recognize it often leads to impulsive spending, poor investments, and missed opportunities. Learning to embrace delayed gratification is not just about resisting temptation. It's about understanding how to align long-term financial goals with your internal desires. This shift in thinking transforms how you approach money, no longer as a source of temporary relief but as a tool for building lasting wealth. Perfectionism may seem like a quality to strive for, but when it comes to finances, it often becomes a paralytic force. The need to get every financial decision just right creates hesitation and delay, leaving you stuck in a cycle of inaction. This desire for perfection isn't about financial mastery. It's about avoiding failure and the discomfort that comes with making mistakes. Every decision becomes a high-stakes endeavor where anything less than perfection feels like a failure. But the truth is, perfectionism in finances doesn't lead to growth or success. It leads to stagnation. Every time you overanalyze, procrastinate, or avoid taking risks, you reinforce a pattern of paralysis that keeps you from moving forward. The real key to financial growth lies in embracing imperfection, learning from mistakes, and taking action, not waiting for the perfect moment. Only by letting go of the need for perfection can you break free from this cycle and make empowered financial decisions. FOMO, the fear of missing out, drives us to make impulsive decisions, especially in the financial world. It's easy to feel like opportunities are slipping through our fingers, especially when we see others seemingly capitalizing on every trend. The desire to keep up often leads to acting impulsively, jumping into investments, spending money, or chasing fleeting trends without fully understanding the consequences. But this behavior stems from an emotional fear, not rational thinking. The more we compare ourselves to others, the more we fall into the trap of reactive financial decisions, driven by the fear of being left behind. The key here is recognizing that the financial decisions we make shouldn't be influenced by external pressure. Instead, they should align with our own long-term goals and values. FOMO only thrives when we ignore our true desires and allow external opinions to dictate our actions. By reclaiming control and acting from a place of personal alignment, we can break free from this cycle and build wealth on our own terms. We've all done it, justifying a poor financial decision after the fact. The ability to rationalize choices that contradict our long-term goals is a powerful psychological mechanism called cognitive dissonance. It's our mind's way of reducing mental discomfort when our actions don't align with our beliefs. In finances, this plays out when we make a purchase we didn't need, or invest in something that felt right in the moment but ended up being a mistake. Instead of confronting the discomfort of a poor choice, we rationalize it, telling ourselves it wasn't so bad, that we deserve it, or that we'll make up for it later. This self-justification prevents us from facing the reality of our decisions, keeping us stuck in repetitive, flawed financial behavior. The problem? Rationalizing mistakes doesn't lead to growth. It reinforces a cycle of self-deception and inconsistent decision-making. The solution lies in confronting the discomfort head-on, acknowledging mistakes, and making financial choices that align with our long-term goals, rather than continuing to justify actions that undermine our potential. The shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset is often the turning point in transforming your financial life. For many, the idea of having enough is overshadowed by the fear of losing what little they have, which leads to overcaution, hoarding, and an unhealthy relationship with money. The scarcity mindset tells you that there isn't enough to go around, that opportunities are limited, and that taking risks is dangerous. But this fear-based thinking holds you back, keeping you stuck in a loop of financial survival rather than financial growth. The key to breaking this cycle is realizing that wealth is not a zero-sum game. There is more than enough for everyone. Shifting your perspective from scarcity to abundance allows you to view opportunities as plentiful and opportunities for growth, rather than threats to your security. The internal shift happens when you move away from fearing loss, to embracing the possibilities that arise when you trust in your ability to attract and manage wealth. At the core of financial success is not just making the right choices, but aligning your actions with your true values and goals. Many people make financial decisions based on external pressures, societal expectations, family influence, or fleeting trends, rather than from an internal place of clarity. The result is a series of financial decisions that feel disconnected from your true desires. Internal mastery involves the understanding of your personal goals, the alignment of your energy with those goals, and the confidence to make decisions that reflect your deeper values, rather than reacting to external forces. When your internal world is aligned, financial success becomes a natural byproduct. It's no longer about chasing money for its own sake or trying to keep up with others, but about creating a life where your financial choices are consistent with your authentic self. This sense of internal coherence is what propels lasting wealth and fulfillment, because your financial decisions are no longer dictated by fear, scarcity, or impulse, but by a deep understanding of who you are and what you truly want. The true essence of financial freedom is not about accumulating wealth. It's about mastering your internal dynamics and aligning your thoughts, desires, and actions with your long-term goals. Financial success is not an external pursuit. It's an internal process. Every financial choice you make is a reflection of your internal state, shaped by your beliefs, fears, and emotions. When you master your inner world, when you can control your impulses, align your desires, and make strategic decisions, you unlock the ability to create lasting wealth. This process is about much more than just avoiding mistakes or managing money effectively. It's about reprogramming your mind to operate from a place of empowerment and clarity. True wealth arises when you no longer feel ruled by fear, self-doubt, or external validation. Instead, it becomes a natural outcome of internal alignment, a byproduct of a life lived intentionally and consciously. The key to your financial future lies not in external circumstances, but in how you master your own mind, channel your desires, and align your actions with your true values.